So first of all, thanks so much for coming out tonight. It's bloody freezing. So really appreciate you coming out to listen to our stories of our adventures. So essentially, three of us barely knew each other. Well, we didn't know each other. We went on a road trip together to play on motorbikes. So we'll start with just saying a bit who we are and how we met, and then what happened afterwards. So I'm Sherrie, and I've been riding bikes for 20 years, and I was all sports bikes. I wasn't interested in anything other than sports bikes. And in 2023, for some reason, I got obsessed with adventure bikes. So I bought a GS, and I never thought I'd own a GS. Going from carbon fibre superbikes to a GS, but I did. And then I learned about this thing called the GS Trophy, which is off-roading on a GS, which sounds ridiculous. So I did a bit of training, signed up, went along to compete in the qualifier, and I saw this person nailing it on the women's final, just like she wasn't even trying, so she won. And then I saw her turn up in the men's final as well, and nailed it again, right? So she had to go up twice. So everybody who knows me knows I'm really quiet and demure, but anyway. So I'm on the sidelines going, oh my God, like that, right? And she's like, what?
Put me off, to be fair.
But then I bumped into her at another festival, Camp VC, in the summer, and she's like, oh, let's do the 2026 GS Trophy. I was like, yeah, okay, loads of time to train. Great, let's book on. It's in Germany. Awesome. So we trying to book flights, and then I find out that actually the qualifier for the 2026 GS Trophy happens in 2025. I thought I had a year to train.
She kept saying to me, actually, at this point, that it's all right, I can come up and I can keep riding with you, and we can get better together and whatnot. And I thought, I don't know what she's thinking about, but it's like 4 weeks away. But anyway, I've just hijacked that bit.
But because we didn't know each other, we didn't really call each other out on this. So, like now, we'd be like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
But because we didn't know each other, we were being very polite and not saying anything. Yeah. So we made our plans, and then I get a thing from Fionn saying, oh, you tell her about how this one turned up.
Yeah, so anyway, I'm Fionn Griffiths. I grew up racing mountain bikes on the World Cup Tour, so I was very fortunate. I did 18 years travelling around the world riding my bike, and as it has it, a lot of those skills translate over to motorcycles. So I think it was probably around 2008, 2009, I started racing a little bit of enduro stuff in the UK. And then, as I seem to be a fan of the deep end of just chucking myself into silly things, decided I was going to go and race a couple of the World Enduro rounds. So I did that, having never raced one of those type of events before. I was very lost and confused, and it was a very long day and very difficult. But we got through it. So it was a steep learning curve, to say the least. And then, essentially, as Sherrie sort of pointed out, I for some reason ended up finding out about this GS Trophy thing for 2024, and thought, I'll buy an old banger of a GS, which I did for £800 off eBay, which is still in my barn and still in terrible condition.
It doesn't have a seat.
No, I actually rode that one on it was a foam pad that I cut down with a bread knife the morning of the event. So, but needs much to get us through to do what we wanted to do and be where we wanted to be. So anyway, at that event, like I said, I ran into, Sherrie said, I ran into her briefly, and then later on invited her to go, to the Germany qualifier, which was October last year. And then I had a text message out of the blue from Chrissie, who basically said, I'm interested in going. I don't really know anything about adventure bikes. I've never ridden one. And should I do it? Is it a good idea? And I said, absolutely, yeah, just jump on board. Come on a road trip with us. We're leaving next week, essentially. And then I'll pass you over to Chrissie, and she can tell you all about how she had to find a bike.
You need to own a BMW bike to take part in the competition, so which is why Fionn had to go out and buy a bike, and then Chrissie did what she had to do as well.
Well, I'm Chrissie Harcourt, and I've been riding bikes for just under 4 years, enduro bikes mainly, and just enduro bikes, no adventure bikes, and did the British Rounds Championship last year, And the first year I started riding, I was like, I went racing straight away. Didn't even know what a clutch was because I just ridden around the motocross track, dropped the clutch, and off you go. And then went to do enduros and sprints and stuff, and I was blown away, and then just kept getting DNFs throughout the first year. Then the second year I actually completed them, and then the third year did the British Championship and achieved a second in the club and ladies, which I was really chuffed with. And then the year came to an end, and I've always been interested in adventure bikes, and I said to Jennifer Huntley, I messaged her to say, did she fancy having a coffee? And we went for coffee and chatted about things, and I mentioned about the GS Trophy. I'd seen a bit about it, and she was like, yeah, go do it. I know 2 people actually that are doing it, and you might be able to get a lift with them. And then I didn't know Fionn at all, and I was just messaged her and said, do you fancy having me tag along if you're up for it, and all that. So yeah, we ended up going together. We didn't know each other, spent how many hours in the car on the way up there was unreal, and said, do you fancy having me tag along if you're up for it?
To Germany.
A few recharges on the way.
And yeah, so yeah, that's me really, and that's us, and that's how we came together. We're very different people, but not one sort of negative thing between us. We've just bonded and clicked straight away. It's awesome.
Yeah. We left as strangers, but we've come back just the best of friends, and we all accept each other's crazy, which is why I get on with Ali.
Yeah. And I mean, this picture on the screen at the minute, that's a picture literally just as we got out of the car after not knowing each other and spending probably in the region of 24 hours in a car together. So if we still look like that and we're all smiling, we knew it was going to go somewhere good from there. And I've definitely come out with friends for life from this one. So.
Yeah, we're definitely stuck with each other.
Yeah.
Okay, so for those that don't know, what is this GS Trophy that we're talking about? Right, so it was formed in 2008, and every other year, BMW hosts this massive competition in different parts of the world where you have challenges to do on the newest BMW GSs. So at the moment, they have hosted in Albania, Argentina, Canada, Mongolia, Namibia, New Zealand, South Africa, Thailand, and Tunisia. And the next competition is in Romania in 2026, this year. In order to qualify to go on that main competition, you have to go do an event in your country. So all the different countries host qualifying events to choose their team. This year, some countries didn't do it. So Germany hosted a Germany qualifier and another qualifier that we went to choose a European team and an international team. So those that win get to represent either their home country, Team Europe, or Team International. So we went along to try for Team International.
Europe.
Sorry, not Team Europe. I mean Europe. We are in Europe.
Just about.
Just, yes. So what did that actually look like? So we had no idea what to expect because we hadn't been to the German trials before. And we drove over and had bikes to pick up when we got there. And we thought we were able to keep the bikes all weekend, didn't we? But it turns out, no, you've got to leave them at the competition.
Yeah, I had a bit of a mess up on that one. So as I'd heard, we were all going to be riding the GS Adventures, the massive big things with a huge big tank on it. So I thought, oh, you know what, I'm going to get a bit of an advantage here. You could rent them basically instead of taking your own bike. So I rented one of these big GSAs, and I got there, and someone said to me, well, you know, you're going to actually compete in the tests on that bike that you've got for the whole weekend, whereas in the UK it was different. It was like you'd ride one bike around and then everybody would get on exactly the same stock bike to do those sections. So I thought, bugger, when I got there.
She didn't say bugger.
No, I'm dumbing it down a little bit. But I was like, oh no, this is going to backfire on me massively. So anyway, before the competition started, I requested if I could swap what bike I was renting. So I actually ended up on the R12 GS, and I can confess, this bike is phenomenal. It did everything I asked of it all weekend, and you know, in the woods, on the road, everything. It was great. Sorry, back to it.
I know, that was hilarious though.
Yeah.
So we found out that the bikes that we had hired, we had to do all of the stages on. So some of these are gnarly off-road stages, and we were on the 1300 normal GS and picked the GS Adventure, and it was huge. So she was very lucky that they could swap it out.
Yeah.
So over the 2 days, we had to do 9 challenges. We were in this massive enduro park in Heichlingen,
Very good.
in Germany.
Very good.
Yeah. Oh, it's on my hoodie somewhere. And we had to ride around and then get to a stage. They tell us what to do, and then we do it. Now, one of the great things was that there's a very famous adventure rider called Jocelyn Snow. She's about 5'0", weighs probably 7 stone wet, and she's an instructor as well. And we had her for 2 days, didn't we, me and Chrissie? Oh, that's what else they did. They broke us up.
That was upsetting.
Yeah, so on day 1, right, so we've signed up together. We've got numbers just all together. We're like, yeah, we're all together. And then they're like, oh no, you two are in that group and you're in that group. And they took Fionn from us.
I got my new friends and I was ready to go, and then all of a sudden I got split up and put on my own again. So
I know. And
start
Fionn's
fresh
like,
with a new bunch of strangers.
but Fion's like our team manager, right? Because she's the one like done all this stuff like in different mountain bikes and stuff, isn't she? And me and Chrissie are like, what do we do now? How do we do that?
They spent the whole way to Germany talking about how they were going to let me go first and they were going to basically copy what I was going to do. And I thought, that bloody backfired on you, hasn't it? So
It did.
Our plans were foiled.
Yeah, so you got split into 2 teams. There were 7 ladies on each team, and then there were men there as well, but there were 14 ladies with 2 teams, and you get a guide. So our guide was Jocelyn Snow, and it was just epic, wasn't it? She was so good.
Yeah.
Right. So I'll show you some of these challenges, right? So this challenge, right? So some challenges were off the bike, some were on the bike, and some were team challenges, and some were solo challenges. With the GS Trophy, you'll hear a lot, Spirit of GS. And if you see some BMW branded clothing, it'll say Spirit of GS. And that's all about adventure, camaraderie, teamwork. So they're testing us to see, will we help each other, or are we just going to like barge past each other and elbows out and stuff? So it's a real mixture of things. This challenge, right, there was a box of nuts. We had to select the nuts to fit a GS wheel. Then we had to run.
Bearing in mind at this point, Chrissie and I had no idea how GS wheels go on, come off, anything, because we'd never ridden adventure bikes before, really. We were kind of stumped.
Chrissie hadn't even ridden one. She was riding a 2-stroke Beta, 300, isn't it, I think? 200 2-stroke Beta onto a GS.
I had full pockets of nuts and bolts going up this hill.
Yeah, so we had to scrabble up the hill, that you can see there, fit the wheel. Oh, we had to grab the wheel first, carry that up the hill, fit the wheel to the bike, and then when the guy up there says, yes, you're done, get back down, empty your pockets, and it's timed, right? So the fastest time wins. So I'm going to show you the variation of skill level and fitness that happened in this.
It looks small, the hill, but it's...
Chrissie on the left, that's Chrissie's method. She's like the running man.
Don't ruin it.
Look, honestly, so I've been on a big fitness journey over the last 1.5 years, and this was a real test that, like, a couple of months before, I wouldn't have been able to do any of it.
Chrissie's mountain goat on the left-hand side.
And I wanted to stop and cry halfway up, right? Because I was just like, I can't do this. I literally was just, I'm embarrassed, and I'm stuck, and I can't get up the hill. I got a bloody wheel on my back. But then I had all these girls, come on, Sherrie, screaming and yelling and just encouraging me the whole way through. And I did it. I mean, it wasn't graceful, and you can see how I came down.
Really nice wetsuit trousers, completely demolished down the stone.
Yeah.
And I just run off the top, and everyone's like, no! It's like really steep, but my feet carried me away.
I thought you were going to just roll over and...
I have to admit,
break.
I caught my toe in a bramble going off the top, and I thought I was a goner.
But that's, we're doing a bike competition, and that's one of the things that we had to do. I mean, how do you prepare for that? Right. And then another off-the-bike challenge, which is really interesting. Let's see if this works now. So this is another off-the-bike challenge. We had to push the bikes, right? No engine. Get a bike, take it along this track, up the path through the trees.
That hill is gnarly, like really
slippery. It's the end of October in Germany. Back down another hill, through this big water thing, and back. And it's how many bikes can you get through in 40 minutes?
As a team, yeah.
As a team. No engines. So, Fionn, the overachiever. How many did you do?
I can't remember.
5.
5. There we go. 5.
How many did we do, Chrissie?
4.
Yeah.
But we still beat a lot of male teams.
We
as
did.
Well. We smashed it, and you had a choice at the start. There was a table with loads of stuff laid out, and you had to choose what you were going to take with you. And it was a bit of a trick. There was some random things on there, but we basically just grabbed all the ropes and tied them to different points on the bike. And one of us had to steer the bike. I was the only one that seemed to be managing to get it on balance, because I'm not no word like that hill was just so off camber and so slippery. And we just had to go 1, 2, 3, heave, and like in stages, heave the bike up. And then when we got to the top, in the end, we all agreed to freewheel it down with, you know, that amount of weight down in that wet, loamy, slippy ground without any engine. It's hard work, really.
I think that's probably where we got the extra one. We just rode it down every time.
Yeah, probably. Not many people listened to me though on that one.
I know.
I did in the end.
Yeah, I guess this was very early on in the competition, so we're still getting to know the other people on the teams. So, you know, trying to say actually it'd be better to just roll it down rather than try and control a bike in the wet, slippy mud and leaves. Was it 250 kilos, the GS?
Something like that, yeah, in the region of.
Yeah, going downhill. Yeah, it's worse than going uphill. But some of the other challenges then were, we did a navigation challenge. Oh my gosh, I didn't know how to use a compass. We rode up to this one area and they gave us a compass and some coordinates and said, oh, you got to go through these woods, get there and write down what you see. I was like, I just went for a walk.
I saw a lot of lost people on that event. There's people wandering around in the woods saying, which way is back to the start, because I need to start again, and I thought, I have no idea.
Oh my God, what about the garage? Right, so there is a thing in the GS Trophy they call a garage, right? And it's basically a section. So say this is a garage, but this sectioned off, so you've got to make tight turns and come round and back on yourself, right? So I knew what it was for. Doesn't mean like I can't ride it because it's too tight and it's too sloppy and I'm just like tiptoe around.
I had no clue.
So what did you do, Fee?
So I turned up at this start of this one section, and they said when you go into the woods there'll be a garage. It's really obvious, and I'm picturing, you know, like maybe this block building or something, or a concrete pad that I have to turn around in. They said you have to go around it, and I thought, fine, can figure that out when I get there. Anyway, I went down this car park over this ramp and round up into the woods, and then I got to this bit, I came around the corner and there was just logs across the floor, and I thought, my enduro background, I'll just go over them. So on one of them, straight up over these big logs, the marshal was just screaming at me, stop, 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 stop. So I stopped on the second one with my back wheel still on the log, at which point I realised I couldn't reach the floor anymore. And trying to stop that from falling over was quite, well, I was going to say quite difficult, but it's actually impossible. So anyway, I ended up, the bike ended up on the floor, and me just stood next to it, going, what's wrong? Why can't I go that way? And they sort of went, well, it's a garage, you have to go around it. And I looked and I said, it's logs, it's not a garage. But anyway, that was my introduction to what the terminology of the GS Trophy and the different things. And anyway, I got marked down for a crash on that one. So I was a bit bitter about it at the time, but I eventually got over it and carried on with my day.
Chrissie, what was your favourite challenge?
I don't know, I think they were all pretty epic. The one that I laughed about the most was the universe one, where they had like haylage bales, one in the middle, and then you had like 8 around the edge, and then you have to complete each lap by going around the middle one and then going to number 1, do a figure of 8 onto number 2, and this field was off camber, and I think
It was a bog pit as well.
The second day we did it as well.
Yeah, it was a bog pit.
So it was literally slick with mud. Nobody told me about taking the traction control off or anything, because I'm used to sliding the dirt bike around, and it literally laughing my head off, like sending this bike round this thing. I was just screaming with laughter. It was hilarious. That was a good one. But then the enduro one I absolutely loved as well. You know, sending such a big bike up this rooty section. What was that one called? I can't remember.
That one was called Thailand.
Yeah, that was epic, that one.
Yeah. So each of the stages was named after one of the countries that the GS Trophy's been held in. We can't remember all of them, but I remember that being Thailand because that was a team task, and I was the last person to come out into the loop. So picking bikes up and helping people pick the bikes up. And then just as we got everybody cleared, they're like, time's up. So I was like, what? But apparently I got points for being so helpful, which is kind.
I was doing a lot of helping on that one. And at one point, one of the marshals said to me, you know, you get no laps confirmed if you don't get to the finish. And I said, yeah, I know. And he said, do you think it's time to get your bike? You've got about a minute to get to the finish. And I was quarter of the way around the lap. And I was like, yeah, it's fine. And then I went to get on a bike, which I thought was mine, but actually because we rented these bikes, and I've been so busily helping other people, I'd forgotten where I put my bike and not even what bike I was on. And it turned out it was down in the woods quite far away because I'd sort of come into the back of a traffic jam and then cleared everyone from in front of me. So I ended up running back to my bike and then just having to absolutely gun it for a lap to be able to get back to the finish. But it was quite amusing.
So it's a real mixture of challenges. And it was challenging for everybody, wasn't it? But it was all different, and every single one of them was fun. I mean, that was the main thing. I mean, they were so slippery. I remember at one point I was sat on the bike and I couldn't get the bike to go straight. It was just going sideways because the back wheel was stuck in a rut and it wouldn't come out. So I just put my hands up to stall the bike. But because it was so slippery and my wheel was now full of mud, it was like a slick on a race bike, the wheel kept turning. I've literally got no hands on anything. And I'm just like, why isn't it stalling? But it was brilliant. And, we're there, doing a competition, but the competitive part seemed quite unimportant. It became about the experience and overcoming challenges and being like, I can't do that. And then we'd get together and be like, oh, try doing it that way, or, try this way. And whoever went first had to, was unlucky really, and had to figure it out to help everybody else.
That was the main part of it, wasn't it? It's, they always say about the BMW side of things and the spirit of GS, and it really does come down to that, and, helping other people and challenges that you see in front of you, just really looking at them as adventures more so than challenges, and to overcome it together as a group, and to look out for other people and put other people before yourself, to sort of do that side of it as well. So that was apparent to me as a huge part of the event, and something that, I really enjoyed embracing that side of it as well.
And we met an American version of us as well, wasn't we? There were there was a number of women there from the States as well, but there's 4 girls there. They bought a farm to play with their motorbikes on in Colorado. And they live there. They literally are, that's what they've done. They're in their 50s and plus, and that's what they're doing. And I'm going to emulate that, I think. Sorry, Malcolm, husband. But honestly, throughout the whole time, we were just having such an awesome time. And even afterwards, we're still in touch and we share stories. And we just emulate. It's like we're doing the same things, just on different sides of the ponds. It's brilliant. Anyway, back to the story. So after the 9 challenges over 2 days, then it's for the finals. So they tot all the scores up, and then they determine who's in the final. They were picking 4 teams. They were picking 2 men's teams and 2 women's teams, 1 each to represent Europe and international. So we got to the final. I didn't make it, but these 2 did. So this is Chrissie riding the final. This is the second day she's ridden a GS. She's now riding the final in Germany in front of a massive audience, all watching to see what happens. Do you want to talk us through this final, Chrissie?
Yeah, well, it was actually quite horrendous, to be fair. Not the actual course, but the fact that it was all filmed and there was everybody stood there watching you, because I'm used to enduro, we're all riding and everybody's watching different people, but it's just you out there, and that made it so much harder. But yeah, I fluffed up a couple of pieces and messed it up a little bit, but other than that, it was not too bad. The top right picture there, it's very, very steep, and you ascend after a sharp 90-degree bend straight up there, and then I didn't give it enough right at the top, and I had my back wheel off the back of that ledge and the bike on its side, and if they offer you assistance on the edge, but if you get assistance you get seriously downgraded in your points and stuff. So I had to lift it up with the back wheel hanging off, shitting myself that I'm going to let it go behind me, because with the damage with them that would be insane, and then managed to accelerate it off and ride the clutch up to get it over and up there.
You did well, to be fair.
Yeah, it was
You did
fun.
awesome, I was screaming.
Yeah, and after that it was pretty fun, and then had to gas it then, because I was like, I'm not going to mess up like that again. And then on the next hill, I sent it and got air on the GS and landed it, and then had a sharp right turn after that. I was like, yes, that's more
You
like
had the
it.
crowd. You had the crowd going, though, didn't you?
Yeah.
It was very... Chrissie is super entertaining to watch on a bike. Honestly, I don't know... Like, on that Universe Challenge, she was riding a 1300 GS like a motocross bike. She got a leg out, right, the back wheels are going, and she's like... and just, like, laughing around the whole place. It was epic.
It's always pretty loose, which I don't mind. Doesn't bother me. Yeah, other than that, though, everything went well, apart from one of the marshals was like, go, 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 after I'd not completed a corner, because you're meant to, like, skid into the corner and then brake the rear tyre, accelerating out. And when somebody, you shouldn't shout go to me because I'm already go in my head. And then
Quite throttle happy at the best of times.
And I just lost the back end. I was like, no. I was like, why did you tell me to do that in the moment? And she's like, get on it, girl, get back on. And then coming through that massive river thing at the end was pretty insane. It was like
It's pretty deep, isn't it?
you lose your bike pretty much.
It's on a jet ski.
Yeah. So over to you.
And then here's some photos of Fionn. Do you want to talk us through your final?
Yeah, slow and steady for me. Nailed it.
It wasn't slow.
No, I just tried to keep it smooth and just keep it moving, keep it upright. Because of the whole log garage situation, I'd actually hurt my hip from picking the thing up on the first event and not had been very warm.
Tell me you're middle-aged without telling me you're middle-aged.
I know, yeah. There we go. I just bought a Volvo.
Volvo driver too.
Oh, welcome. Fairly uneventful for me, luckily. Bit of a taking my time at the end there, not flooding the bike as the person before me did in the water. Yeah. So I just give a quick thumbs up to the cameras.
I mean, who does this? This is the last stretch of the final, coming through a big water thing, and she's like, just chill.
Yeah, crowd pleaser.
Cool as a cucumber. So that was the final, and then it was waiting. Yes, waiting for the winners. As you can see, Fionn's there, front and centre. So for Team Europe, the first and second places were Fionn and Anya. So Anya, I've known her for a few years actually. She's from the Netherlands and a really good rider. And then for the international team, it was Duda from Brazil and Stephanie from the States. And then there's the men's team for international and European as well. So there was a big, big celebration. Lots of gold confetti, as you can see.
Yeah. And those guys on the left there's Thomas and Steffi from BMW headquarters. They're the organisers of the GS Trophy.
Oh yeah, and the guy on the right is Sean Thomas. He's a journalist and a bike trainer, very involved in the competition as well.
But what's insane is where it all leads to, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
the actual event is wild.
There we go.
Yeah, so you literally get everything paid for, sent out to do this challenge then, the main event, and then this year it's Romania, so it's going to be a bit of a wild one on one of these bikes, and everything paid for, complete adventure kit, and how many days is it?
6 days of riding.
Yeah, 6 days of riding this year. It's,
But before we talk about that, let's say, so if anybody here is feeling inspired to try off-roading on a GS, I've organised a ladies' takeover at Off-Road Skills in Little Gunlice in September. They have courses all year for, men and women, but one of the things we like to do is encourage more women to try things, because you look at these bikes and then you look at, most of us have got little legs and what have you, and it's quite off-putting. So as a way to try and encourage women to give it a go in a safe environment, they've let me have a 2-day takeover, so we can just have women only. So that's going to be the 4th and 5th of September. So if you want any information on that, let me know. Or if you want to go on a regular day, then Off-Road Skills, Mr. Gunlice, do amazing training, world-class trainers, Dakar finishers and all that, and like, they're pretty awesome. I'm not saying it. Okay, so that brought us to Team Europe. So let's do what we've done actually, right? So we've got a couple of messages from friends to just do well wish and everything because they couldn't be here. This is Anya. This is the girl who's also in Team Europe. She's away in Poland at the moment, so she couldn't join us. Otherwise she would have been here with us tonight.
Okay, you ready for the surprise?
Okay.
So for Romania 2026, I'm not your teammate.
Why?
Because I gave my spot to Chrissie, but she doesn't know yet. She will find out tonight.
Surprise!
Chrissie.
What's your language? Beep.
No, after getting to know you on the trip, you better hold this, that's your flight ticket. After getting to know you on the trip, honestly, you're absolutely amazing person, and yeah, it's just one of those things in life. I think sometimes things are meant for different people, and at this point, you know, like, I've had so many amazing moments in my life and career on mountain bikes and everything. I've ridden all over the world, and for you turned up on having never ridden an adventure bike before, and yeah, I just
nailed it as well.
Absolutely killed it. Yeah,
so awesome.
I think yeah, if you get out to Romania, I think you will absolutely smash it. So I
knew I would deny it if you did.
So no, but 2 days after getting back from Germany, I called BMW headquarters and said what I wanted to do, and yeah, we've just been planning this since.
We've been plotting this the whole time, Chrissie.
So yeah, so over to you. You're going to Romania in September for 6 days riding, and Anya is actually on the phone here. Mel's holding it. So yeah, we'll talk to her in a minute. It's all right.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, so that's what's happening. So we've got a few messages. If you carry on playing that one, this one's from. Okay, you ready for the surprise?
Okay.
So for Romania 2026, I'm not your teammate.
Why?
Because I gave my spot to Chrissie, but she doesn't know yet. She will find out tonight.
Why?
It's in the spirit of GS, and you know, I had a lot of experiences in my life, and I think it's fair to give it to her because, you know, like, it will mean a lot to her. So Chrissie will be your teammate. So that's yeah.
Hi, Chrissie, we go to Romania.
Hi Chrissie, Anya here. I just heard about your surprise, and I need to say that I'm so happy because I heard about this about 3 hours ago, and this is so amazing. I can't even think what you can feel inside, but this is so big surprise that you go with me in Romania and that you are trophy qualifier, and that you go to the Romania, and then we that we get the new bikes, and that we go to ride there, and that we can ride through the stains and water and everything, and that we can together make new experience and new moments and memories, and this is. I'm so happy for you that you can do this everything now, and Fionn and amazing people that she wants to get her place to you, and it's really incredible. Give you a big hug, and I am really happy for you, and I am so glad that we go together. Wow, amazing.
Want to say anything?
I didn't need to happen at all, because the best thing about last year was meeting you two, basically.
You should have took the toolkit, shouldn't you?
It was just you two have just made my year. I'd had a bit of a shit year, still going shit. But yeah, it was insane, really.
This is showing you how official this is, Chrissie. This is from Steffi at BMW Germany. They would have loved to have been here when you received this message, but it's not possible. Very happy to welcome you to the GS Trophy in Romania. The registration process will be starting soon. Please reserve the following days for your personal adventure of a lifetime. This is the itinerary, and this is from Steffi, the organizer. We got a couple more messages for you.
Hey Chrissie, I just got the news. I'm so excited for you. GS Trophy Romania. Congratulations. Oh my gosh, what a beautiful gift from Fionn. And you deserve it. You definitely deserve it. You are an amazing rider, and I cannot wait to watch you crush it down there in Romania. So, super excited for you. Congratulations and good luck.
So she's actually not quiet at all. She's as loud as I am. I don't know why the recording is a little quiet. No, this one is loud, so I'm going to bring it down. So Jocelyn Snow, that message, she was one of the instructors, like I say, very famous adventure rider. This is Sean Thomas as well, one of the main characters in the GS Trophy.
He's a brand ambassador, isn't he, for the BMW?
Yeah, he's a BMW brand ambassador, like the whole thing.
Lovely guy.
Hello, my friend. I want to congratulate you on what must be a surprising but absolutely well-deserved adventure that you're about to embark on. And remind you of something that I'm sure you know better than most, which is, as much as adventure riding and the GS Trophy are about facing your fears and the rigors of adventure riding, it's absolutely mostly about meeting people and making friendships that last well beyond the ride, something that you've absolutely done. So congratulations. Have a great trip. Rock on.
And then we've got, so this is Jennifer Huntley.
This is the lady who told me to go.
This is Jenny's fault that Chrissie met us, actually. And but she is also an instructor at Off-Road Skills. She's about 5 foot. Sorry, Jenny, 5 foot.
She's in good problem.
And a very petite lady. And her and Jocelyn really do show that size isn't what it is. It's all about technique. And when you see these ladies ride, it's just so inspirational. It kind of kills all the excuses, really, unfortunately.
Hi, Chrissie. Wow, super happy news. Happy for you. One of the European female qualifying teams for 2026 in Romania. How exciting, and really in the GS Trophy spirit, which is just a really lovely story. I'm super proud that you're going to be on the team. You're going to be a strong competitor, and you're going to love Romania. The tracks are unbelievable. The special tests will be challenging. You'll have the time of your life, and you'll make more great friends. You just won't believe what a true adventure this trophy is. Yeah, it's life-changing. You're going to love it. And here for you. Well done.
Better pull my finger out, hadn't I?
Yeah, you just got your bike.
So no pressure, Chrissie. So Fionn and I have been plotting this since November. As you've seen,
I
Chrissie.
told you on the way home, didn't I?
She did, and I
could hand over my...
Yeah, she did tell me on the way home.
Yeah.
But we wanted to make sure it was all official and agreed, behind the scenes, before even mentioning it to Chrissie. And we knew if we didn't do this in public, she'd say no, but now she can't. So this is the bike that will be ridden in the competition in Romania. It's the R12G/S enduro model. And the guys down the road at Motorrad were very kind to bring us a brand new showroom model today so we could show you the size of the bike and what it looks like. So thank you. Bit of a schedule there, what's going to happen in Romania. It's going to be 6 days of riding and challenges. And Chrissie, you're going to do so awesome because...
I hope you like camping.
Not massively anymore, but yeah, I'll roll it.
You'll be all right.
Now, so the organisers, they were a company called TWT Moto in Germany, put this video compilation together. Now, it's very, very corny, but it's so good. So it might take me a second to open a browser and put it in there, but I'm going to play that for you.
Yeah, my head's blown completely.
Awesome. So I guess that rounds it up, really. A couple of thank yous I want to say. First of all, J&S, staying open late for us. And also Ali from Ride Like a Girl. I basically called Ali about not even a week ago. And I was like, Ali, got an idea. And also, so Ride Like a Girl is a very active group on social media. Girls around, just groups of girls getting together, riding together, loads of support. I mean, the girls work their socks off. There's lots of winter socials happening as well. And I think Liam is going to bring me a demo of... they did a charity calendar.
July's lovely.
Is it you?
Well, I'm sure I'm retiring, I wouldn't tell you.
So these are charity calendars that the team have had made up, and all the... Actually, I'm going to get Ali up here to tell you all about it. But these are now half price, so there's only 6 left, but they're available for a £5, was it?
I want one.
Okay, so there's 5 left. But seriously, guys, thanks for coming along. Not really knowing what to expect. We couldn't tell you that we were doing this surprise. So thanks so much for coming along and witnessing this. Really appreciate it. And thanks for the support.
Yes, thank
the
you.
team here and Ali. I love it when you're just up for everything.
The BMW pusher.
Yeah, and yeah, Ben from Motorrad. I mean,
thank you. We appreciate that.
My husband has one of these bikes, and he was going to ride it down. No, he's going to come in the van, but the van's full of stuff. And then he was going to ride it down, but the weather's been horrendous. And I popped in and like, oh, Ben, got a big favour? And he's like, yeah, no problem. And then it is. So thank you very much. So thank you, everybody. Yeah, we'll be sharing stuff on socials because we'll be doing lots of training. Well, Chrissie will be doing lots of training. Yeah. I'm going to go along because I got to do training anyway. And we're going to make Fionn teach us.
And I'm going to go because I like riding.
No, you're a teacher.
Okay.
Thank you so much, everybody. Oh, thank you to Cheney for coming along and doing all the media stuff. So Cheney's got a really awesome company called Tantrum. And, oh, yes, and good, thank you, Joe, for the reminder. There's another thing happening at this year called the Women Riders World Relay. In 2019, they had a physical baton that they passed around the whole world with female bikers. And this time it's digital. So all the ladies that ride motorbikes, please download the app and we're going to swap more batons this evening. Get it moving in Wales. Okay, I think that's it. Anybody got anything else? What have you got to say, Chrissie?
Not a lot going on up here anymore.
Check back tomorrow.
Brill. Thank you, guys. Any questions, feel free to come and have a chat to any of us about what we were doing or anything about adventure riding.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, everybody. Really appreciate it. Do you have a picture?